vlog, day 1. We're leaving Bancroft, refueled, dropped off some stuff. All the errands are done. I forgot to mail my film, so I'll have to mail that in BC, or probably just have it developed in Victoria rather than Montreal. The trip commences. Car is running well, no issues, knock on wood. And yeah, we are en route to Haliburton. From there, slingshotting up to North Bay to get on the Highway 17 to Thunder Bay and all the way to Manitoba, where it switches to Highway 1. Don't know how long or how far. I don't know how far we'll get on day 1, but my goal is around 700 kilometers. Mind you, it's already like 12, I think, so there might be a bit much, but we'll see how far we get. Alright, update. I topped up on fuel. Car is running really well, it's very efficient. And we made it through North Bay and are now en route to Temagami. And, well, Timmins is the end goal for today, I think, but Temagami is on the way, so I'm probably going to stop and check it out because I've heard that it's very pretty. We're in Temagami. It seems that there's not a lot here. Mostly resorts, and it's quite pretty though. Resorts and gift shops. It seems to be a town that most people just pass through, but it is quite pretty though. I'm looking to see if there's motels in New Liskeard.
Beautiful. I didn't go out and shoot it with my film cameras, of course. I wanted to, but it seemed so far away. The cinematic moment was, of course, ruined by somebody pulling into the parking lot, as usual.
Finally made it to Cochrane, now heading to Thunder Bay. This is an important milestone in the trip because it means we can finally stop heading north and start actually heading west, which is kind of cool. The only other German car in Cochrane parked beside me is a Mercedes-Benz CLA with British Columbia plates, and I thought, oh, that was really cool. I asked the guy if he came from BC, but apparently it was a rental car, but the car itself is still from BC, and he was heading to Montreal, so yeah, thought that was kind of funny. Hopefully he enjoys all of the construction that's ahead, though. There's so much construction. Il y a tellement de construction dans Trans-Canada. Good breakfast, good balanced breakfast at, I don't even know what time it is. Looks like 1830. I just realized I got this pizza in New Liskeard. I'm about an hour away from Thunder Bay now, which means that this pizza has traveled like 700 kilometers, something like that. Pretty dark for the camera, but that's where we're sleeping tonight. It's Kakabuka Provincial Park. Got a lovely sleeping arrangement here. It's way cheaper than a motel in Thunder Bay, and way safer than a parking lot in Thunder Bay. And there's only one mosquito in here that I have to murder, and then we should be good. Really interesting up here. Aside from how beautiful the land is and how beautiful the sunrises are, with the sun's rays reflecting off the mist, and like there's so many lakes. It's really beautiful. It's more isolated, and even though there's still cell reception, there's just less out here. The communities are smaller, with much less in them. Mostly just houses. There's very few grocery stores. There's a lot more general stores though than you'd see anywhere else, or than I've seen anywhere else. It's very much like a lot of roadside fuel stations, and that also sell oil and filters and general tools you might need. It's all built around the Trans-Canada Highway, it seems, and providing for the people on the road. And there's this interesting sense of camaraderie, I think, when you see somebody else in the Trans-Canada. It's not that it's a particularly dangerous or remote highway, but compared to something closer to the city, to me it certainly feels vastly different. even though the road itself is in good shape and everything, it's the stretches between fuel stations are quite massive sometimes. So I'm glad I have an efficient car. But it's cool when you see somebody else in the Trans-Canada in a car that's not, not the usual semi. You're thinking, oh, I wonder where they came from, and I wonder where they're going. I wonder how long they've been on this road for. So I've driven 1,600 kilometers and I'm still in Ontario. But we'll be in Manitoba by the end of today. But I just thought that's really interesting. And things feel different up here. They feel slower. Not in a bad way. It feels like things are there's a lot more connection, I think. A lot less reliance on technology. That's not to say that there isn't technology. Like, everywhere I've been, obviously, it's had, like, most places have internet, most places have cell reception, most places have debit machines. No one's ever, like, demanded that I use cash because they didn't have debit. Like, the technology is all there. It's no different than Eastern Ontario, but it feels different because I think it's because the staff aren't really in a hurry to serve you, and most of the stations are full service, and because of that, and everybody's polite and everybody is doing their job, like, no complaints at all, but it's not like the mad rush of a city. And it's just because there's less people and everybody knows that, and everybody's just patient, and, like, I don't know, it's cool. It feels like going back in time a little bit. I know, because of technology, it's like a slower way of doing things. It's really refreshing, I guess. I got a free coffee because of the fuel. This is the most expensive so far at $1.78 per liter for premium, but that's still nowhere near as expensive as it was during the height of COVID, so I'm not complaining. Also, this car is super good on fuel, so it's not too bad. Another thing that I hadn't really considered is that not all fuel stations actually have premium. And the ones that do, some of the smaller stations, like the privately owned ones, I'm not entirely sure if it's actual premium or if it's like up-branded regular. The car's been running really well, so I don't think that it's a lower octane, but my range calculator is giving me less range than it was before with this recent fill up. But I think it's okay. In a worst case scenario, if it is a lower octane, I still had half a tank of proper premium, so it'll mix. It won't be great, but it should be okay. Hopefully it was actual premium though. I have no way of knowing, but at least I have fuel, because the next stretch apparently there's not really any service stations for a good couple hundred kilometers, which I would have made on the half a tank I had remaining, but it's best not to play fuel roulette on the Trans-Canada Highway, because a lot of times there's no reception and there's just nothing. It's just a road, and if you break down and run out of fuel, you'd have to hope that you can flag down a passing semi, because otherwise you're screwed.
chemin sur Lakeview Drive.
Just passed. You probably can't see me because it's exposing for the sunroof, but we're officially in Manitoba. We just passed White Shell, and so far it looks the same as Ontario, but that's not a bad thing because Northern Ontario is very, very pretty.
Tournez à droite sur Arthur Street, puis tournez à gauche.
Yeah, I don't know. Made it to Calgary, so I decided I should finally load some film into the Leica or something. Loading in direct sunlight because, I don't know, Winnipeg is flat anyway. I didn't film all of the loading, but you'll just have to trust me that I did in fact load the film, and it actually only took about 3 seconds. 490 Hargrave Street. Blue ribbon. It's mostly so I can remember where I parked my car. Anyway, after being asked if I had a smoke on me, which of course I didn't, I decided it was probably time to leave. Not the city, but that area, and just start walking around. Hope my car and the stuff in it is still there when I get back. Anyway, after waiting forever for a light, I decided to use Montreal rules, which is basically cross wherever you want, whenever you want. And I decided to just walk in the opposite direction of the sirens for no reason, just to force the habit. Got dripped on by an air conditioner. That is a portal to the neighbor's room. Undo this and open the door, and you're just like you can look into their bathroom and you have full access to their room. So I put the garbage can there so that if this door opens, I'll hear the garbage can and I can do something about it. I think it locks from my side, but I'm not entirely sure. When I turned this on the first time, the water was rusty. Water was rusty, but maybe it's fixed. I was gonna have a shower, but maybe this isn't the place. Also, it feels like tornado weather out here. There's a roof that I can just stand on. It's hot and humid, but it's raining and it's really windy. I think what I'm going to do tomorrow is book it across the remainder of Manitoba and all of Saskatchewan and get out of the prairies. Well, Alberta is still kind of flat in the beginnings of it, but at least I think that's the plan for tomorrow. 10-hour drive to Medicine Hat. Manitoba time. I left Winnipeg at around 0500, and the goal today is to reach Medicine Hat. At least we'll see how I'm feeling in Medicine Hat, but that's a roughly 10.5-hour drive. Hoping to get through the rest of Manitoba, all of Saskatchewan, and a little bit of Alberta today. Regina. C'est les mêmes que Winnipeg, je pense. But made it. Time to get food, fuel, and then stretch my legs, then get back in the car and book it to Medicine Hat, Alberta. Saskatchewan is so sunny, and there's no respite from the sun at all, because there's nothing to stop the sun. It just blasts on everything. And on the Trans-Canada, your only hope of avoiding the sun is to drive exactly the speed limit in the slow lane and hope that several semis overtake you in a row so that you have, I don't know, maybe like 10 seconds of shade. It's actually crazy. I mean, I tried to go in to get some kind of coffee or caffeine-fueled goodness, but the power was off because I guess they didn't put an energy bill or something. Anyway, I went to support their competitor, but Apparently they were also out of power. I'm not really sure what happened in this part of Saskatchewan, but it's time to get out of this city, I think. I've got to go find 2F's fuel and food, and then we've got a 9.5 hour drive to Kamloops over the Rockies, over part of the Rockies. Should be fun. Yesterday I drove 1,360 kilometers. I don't know exactly how long it took, over 13 hours. I had to stop a few times for fuel, and once because the sun was trying to dehydrate my eyes into raisins. There's no escaping the sun in Saskatchewan. Beautiful province, though. Anyway. for BC ferries to Wilson to Victoria, then driving to Nanaimo after that. We'll be here for a while. It's currently almost 1500 and my ferry doesn't leave until 1600. Time to get comfortable, I guess.